Interviewer: the Prime Minister was with us yesterday, right after the government's controversial decision to end winter fuel payments was heavily criticised. This issue affects millions of retirees, and the Labour Party is deciding today whether to reverse that move. Many believe this could be a political setback for the Prime Minister, especially as he has refused to apologise for stripping pensioners of vital support. After his speech in Liverpool, where he mentioned helping working people at least 13 times, I pressed him on this issue. I asked if he could justify the loss of up to £300 for hard-working retirees who have contributed to the country for years. Prime Minister, it's a difficult decision, but we inherited an economy in a dire state. There was a £22 billion black hole we had to address. Public sector pay reviews revealed about £9 billion in recommendations, which we couldn't afford to ignore. We needed to make tough choices to stabilise the economy. Yes, we're asking pensioners to pay more now, but it's necessary to prevent economic collapse. Interviewer: but if the economy is stabilising, as you claim, why are retirees like Chrissy, who worked in the NHS for 25 years, losing their winter fuel payments? She's just above the pension credit threshold, has arthritis, and expects her fuel costs to rise by £40 a month. Chrissy voted for you, but now feels betrayed. Will you apologise to people like her? Prime Minister: I understand Chrissy's frustration, but when you inherit a £22 billion deficit, you're faced with impossible choices. My priority is ensuring we never lose control of the economy again. The triple lock ensures pensions will rise, and we've committed to giving pensioners an additional £900 next year. But we had to take these steps to prevent further financial instability. Interviewer: you've mentioned the £22 billion hole several times, but let's focus on the real impact. According to former Pensions Minister Steve Webb, the upcoming state pension increase of £460 isn't even keeping up with inflation. Pensioners will be worse off, especially with the loss of £300 in winter fuel payments. Can't you see how unfair this seems? Prime Minister: we're working to bring inflation down, and that's why these difficult decisions are necessary. Stabilising the economy ensures that pensioners' incomes will increase in the long run. But without these measures, we'd risk economic disaster. Interviewer: I've asked multiple times, do you regret the decision to cut winter fuel payments? Would you like to apologise to retirees who feel let down? Prime Minister: the previous government left us with a mess. I regret the difficult choices we had to make, but I don't apologise for doing what's necessary to keep the economy stable. The real apology should come from those responsible for the £22 billion black hole we had to fix. Interviewer: one last point. You've accepted donations for clothes, concert tickets, and even football games. Don't you think this gives an impression of favoritism? Prime Minister: during the election campaign, a lot of people were helping out, and some of those contributions were related to clothing and other items. I've also been a long-time season ticket holder at Arsenal. Due to security concerns, I've been seated in the director's box, but those tickets are not given in exchange for favours. Interviewer: and what about the billions in foreign aid? Many people argue that this money should be spent at home, especially given the challenges retirees face. Prime Minister: I understand the concern, but supporting Ukraine is about defending democracy and our freedoms. This isn't just about Ukraine, it's about standing against Russian aggression and upholding the values we all cherish. Interviewer: thank you, Prime Minister. One last question. Will you keep the council tax discount for single individuals? Prime Minister: I can't make any promises ahead of the budget, but we'll see what happens then. Interviewer: Post-interview reflection, the Prime Minister was clearly on the defensive. It was a missed opportunity for him to show some humanity and simply apologize for the tough choices his government has made.